Good morning, folks. We have Dom DeLuca for you guys today. For those who are new, don't remember, use the raise hand function, and we'll get to questions for Dom. Tyler Donahue, go ahead and start us off.
Thank you, Dom. How are you today?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
Big after practice yesterday, and he was discussing how helpful it was to have someone who's a built-in established captain on that unit to walk onto the campus and get to know. What has that relationship been like between you two? We called you an extension of the coaching staff. In what ways do you think you might fit that description?
Just always asking questions that are like always come up when you have a new coordinator at special teams, like all like the little details on what do you do in certain situations, and just really just getting that conversation with Coach Lustig and understanding like his plan and his goals for the season and relaying that to the team.
Donnie Collins.
Hey, Dom, what's the spring been like with Coach Allen? And is there a way to compare and contrast him on the field, off of it with Manny?
Coach Collins, Coach Collins. Oh wow, Coach Allen has been doing really well. I love the energy he's bringing to the team and to the defense. I mean, he's a great coach. We're all excited to learn from him and excited to have a great year. And I mean, he's a very personal guy. Loves having conversations and just getting to get to know him is awesome.
Johnny McGonigal.
Hey, Dom, thanks for your time. Really appreciate it. Looking at the linebacker room, a name that we've heard a lot of really over the last year since he enrolled was Tony Rojas. How have you seen him, as an older guy in the room, especially, how have you kind of seen him develop and progress into the role that he might have this upcoming fall?
He picks up the game really fast and really well. I mean, he's always excited to learn. He's doing a lot of film study, a lot of study with the coaches, and just asking a lot of questions to me and coaches. I mean, when he comes off the field, we always talking about like, what do you see? What do you see here? What made you uncomfortable? What was a little weird and what was different? And we just really talk through everything, and we're learning from each other. I mean, he's a great athlete, and I'm excited for him this year.
Daniel Gallen.
Hey Dom, earlier this offseason, Kobe King was talking about the difference between Coach Allen and Coach Diaz, and he said that Manny was someone you wanted to run through the wall for, and he said that Tom Allen explains why you're running through that wall, and really teaches that. What is Tom Allen like as a teacher, and how does he kind of communicate that philosophy to you?
Coach Allen really simplifies everything. He tries to make sure you know why you're doing everything, and I feel like that's a really big emphasis for him. And he always tries to do that. He makes sure we all understand everything that goes on in the defense. Coach Diaz did the same thing as well. Coach Allen is just doing it a different way, and he's more personal with us and having talks and even just the way he is every day. I mean, he's always positive, always has a positive attitude, and always wants the best for us.
Rich Scarcella.
Dom, thanks for doing this. Who are some of the younger linebackers besides Tony who have stood out so far in your mind this spring? Thanks.
Tamir Robinson has been having a great spring so far. I mean, he's excited to learn and he's hungry. I mean, he's fast and he's learned this defense very well and he's excited to play and it's very noticeable.
Greg Pickle.
Morning, Dom. Thanks for your time.
Of course.
Dom, Coach Franklin said, I believe it was last week, talking about Abdul Carter going to defensive end, and then obviously you guys have to figure some stuff out in the linebacker room because of that. So how have you maybe seen the competition at linebacker this spring, with obviously many guys, yourself included, looking to fill the snaps he left behind and then the snaps that are available in general?
I mean, we have great linebackers. We have a lot of depth. I mean, we have a lot of young kids too. Excuse me. And I mean, it's going to be a competition. I mean, everyone's hungry to play. We got Tony Rojas, Keon Wiley, Kavion Keys, Tamir Robinson. I mean, you got a lot of people, and we got a lot of depth. I mean, it's exciting for the season.
Ben Jones.
Hey, Dom. Talking about Abdul, were you surprised is maybe not the right word, but what was sort of your reaction when that change happened? And did you sort of have a sense before it happened that maybe that was in the works.
Kind of had a sense. I mean, he played a little bit against Maryland at defensive end in our third down package. I mean, wherever you put Abdul Carter on the field, he's going to make plays. He's going to be disruptive, and he's going to get to the quarterback. Doesn't matter where you put him. I mean, he's just a freak athlete and really great to learn from.
Ron Snyder.
Hey, Dom, just from a mentality standpoint, what's the next step for you guys just in terms of, getting to that national championship level? Obviously, there's a 12-team playoff this coming year, but from a mentality standpoint, you guys have had 2 really good seasons. But what's the next step from a mental perspective that you guys need to take to get to the next level?
Well, changing into playoffs as a college football does turn into. I mean, we got to prepare for a longer season now. I mean, got to have depth at all positions. I mean, we've been emphasizing that a lot. I mean, you got about 17 games, 15, 17 games to make it to the national championship. So you got to really take care of your body. I mean, everyone's got to stay healthy. And it's really just next man up mentality. I mean, everyone's got to be prepared to play.
Donnie Collins.
Dom, how has this spring been different for you personally, from a practice perspective, competing perspective? What's been has it been different without Manny?
No, it hasn't really been too different. I mean, just learning the new defense coordinator's lingo and just the way he is as a person and how he talks. Just learning the new verbiage from him. I mean, that's the only big turnaround from Coach Diaz to Coach Allen. I mean, all defenses are usually the same. I mean, it's usually just called differently, called different names. So that's really the big turn for us. I mean, we're all learning it very well. We all picked it up fast, so it was no problem for us.
Joe Smeltzer.
Hey, Dom, thanks for the time. So, a few weeks back, I think it was last week, Coach Franklin said that some of the things that this offense has been doing under Coach Kotelnicki have been an adjustment for the linebackers and safeties, especially. I was wondering, without giving any secrets away, obviously, what some of the changes have been in going against the offense with the new stuff that Coach K has implemented.
Coach K's bringing a lot of excitement just to the offense and to the defense. I mean, he talks a little smack in meetings to get us fired up. So I mean, he's really bringing everyone up to a different level, just bringing up the hype, and it's really awesome. It's really awesome to be a part of. I mean, Coach K is a great offensive coordinator. I'm excited for what he's going to do with our offense this year.
Tyler Donahue.
If I could keep your focus on the offensive end, I'm just curious from your perspective, what has Cam Wallace looked like coming out of the offensive backfield, and maybe how has he looked differently than he did in year 1 on this campus?
Cam Wallace is running hard and he's running with some anger. I love the way he's playing right now in this spring, and he's hungry, and it's very noticeable. Everyone's noticing it. He's hitting the hole hard. He's making plays, and it's very not just on offense. He's making plays on special teams too. I mean, he's really focusing in and dialing in right now. We love it.
Daniel Gallen.
Dom, we know you've had a pretty big special teams role during your time at Penn State. What has it been like working with Coach Lustig, and what about his approach might be different than Stacy Collins this year as opposed to last year?
Coach Lustig really likes when we talk during meetings. He kind of gets upset when no one talks, and he starts yelling at us. I mean, it's in a good way, which is understanding. I mean, learning a new special teams, and special teams is 1/3 of the game, so you really only have one shot. And he says 1 shot, 1 kill, and that's really all we get. I mean, you can't redo a special teams play that often. I mean, so you really got to be on your P's and Q's on what you're doing responsibility wise.
Ben Jones.
Dom, college football has always been so much about how you almost have to be perfect to make the postseason. And as a guy who's been around, obviously your approach might not change. But is there an excitement for someone who's been around a little bit longer that if you do exactly what you've been doing, give or take, you've got a good opportunity to get into that conversation for playing a national title? Does that feel any different this time of year, knowing that maybe you don't have to absolutely be perfect to do that?
I mean, there's always that goal to have an undefeated season and just go 1-0 each week. That's a really big thing that we try to focus on. We're focusing on West Virginia right now and just preparing for them in Morgantown, which will be a great environment to play in. I'm pretty excited for. But yeah, we always had those 1 or 2 losses. I mean, we're really excited for the season though.
We'll go 2 more questions here, folks. We'll go Joe Lister and then Tyler Donahue. Go ahead, Joe.
Dom, thanks for taking the time. On Abdul, real quick again, how much have you seen him at defensive end in practice, and how has he looked?
He looks really good. I mean, he gets off the ball fast. He's explosive, and he always gets to the quarterback. He's really good with his hands. He's a great pass rusher. So I'm really excited for him this year.
Tyler Donahue, last question.
Thanks again, Dom. Wanted to ask about Jalen Reed. We've heard he's really emerged at that new line position. Could you kind of give your best description of why he's a fit for what this defense wants to accomplish with that particular spot?
He's a great player. I mean, wherever you put Jalen Reed as well, he's going to make plays. He's hungry, and he understands the defense very well. He understands offenses very well and their tendencies. Jalen Reed, he's great covering in the slot, and he's also great at blitzing. So like he can do it all. So it'll be really excited for him this year.
Thanks, Dom. Thanks, folks.